Alright, I'm gonna record a quick video here going over the new map Alterac Pass and some of the problems that I think have with it right now. I doubt that these are actually going to get changed before it goes live, considering it'll likely go live in about a week or so, but uh, whatever. Hopefully this is my whatever prior thoughts, and you could probably use this to win a lot of games really easily after the map first comes out. So first thing to note is that it's a 3-lane map, but you don't actually rotate between the lanes that often. You basically want to have a global and a good camp clearer and lots of wave clear, and that's pretty much what this map boils down to. You will be team fighting over the objective, and I'm playing Illidan in this map, or in this game. And why is the replay not following the person? That's quite annoying. There we go, that should do it now. So basically the important thing is you'll fight mid, and nothing will really happen, and then the first objective will spawn, and you want to get this camp that spawns in 20 seconds. It spawns, I believe, right at 1 minute. Yeah. And this camp is 3 like gnolls, and they're basically the flame dudes from Braxis, except there's 3 of them. And so if they are allowed to push on their own, they are really, 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 really strong. So you want a good camp clear that can do this. So Sylvanas, Illidan, Sonya, Greymane, these are all like top tier picks on this map, I would say, so far, as my first impressions. And so if they don't have good wave clear, or if they're not going to get this camp, this gets you like a ridiculous lead straight from the start of the game to control the first objective, because they're pretty much going to have to dedicate at least somebody to clearing this. Now, I think I should have waited here on picking this camp up until we saw the objective pop. So I don't think doing it right as it spawns is necessarily the best thing, and it probably made me clear it slower than if I had gotten like level 2 first or something. But it's kind of fine because the enemies did the same thing. And so at this point, you're pretty much just waiting for the objective. Again, we took these too early, but this is like the first time that we had really gotten a full team comp draft together that was basically close to ideal of what you would be wanting here. And so yeah, these all get cleared for free, but basically you want to take this when the objective is up. So yeah, you want to be taking it, probably capturing it right around 240, so I could go back and look at how fast it took me to capture that, but probably want to do it closer to level 3 or level 4 maybe. And you can send one person to do it, or you can send multiple people to do it if you don't have a good camp clearer on their own. Now these first capture point, it's 50-50 whether it's top and bottom, and then it will alternate. So with the first one bottom, generally you want to push a side wave with the first objective, with the idea that mid will be getting pushed with your null camp that you got, or they'll have to send somebody to clear it, so then you'll have only 4 people down at the other lane. And just having one person push with the objective when it's up, if you win, is ridiculously strong. So that's why globals are pretty good. I think Falstad is also going to be pretty good on this map. Dahaka is probably going to be decent. You know, those type of heroes that can global, because you can pretty much push one side wave in, like bottom in this case, and then use your global to get top and push in that. And the first objective here is ridiculously strong. It's, I would say, stronger than Braxis for the most part, in how snowbally it is and how likely you are to win the game if you win the first one. And it's kind of like stronger than the Spider Queens on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and their health doesn't regenerate, so even if they push on their own, I would say they're stronger, or about the same, but because the map is more spread out than Tomb, you can't really clear one and then rotate to another lane to clear another one as easily, so they get a ridiculous amount of value if you can push with them, because you're pretty much guaranteed to get a fort off the first one. So yeah, we don't really play to our team comp that great. We were down a talent tier for half of that fight, so we lose the first one here, but we'll see how much their team gets from this. Their team is a bit more, I would say, like team fight and late game scaly than, you know, especially with like Chromie and things like that, and compared to our team. So we can actually clear these fairly easily. You know, we have Sylvanas for the good wave clear. Sylvanas is ridiculous on this map. And so yeah, you can see they're pretty much going to get this first wall here with about 3 of them mid. And so you see, because their health doesn't drop, this is the main thing that I would change personally, is we had 4 people here clearing the mid wave, and it just died, and on Tomb of the Spider Queen, the other lanes at this point would be below half. And, at this point, this one is still almost entirely full health. And so this one is pretty much going to get the fort on its own. So they got the mid wall with us defending it. But you see, without defending it, they had Chromie down here for part of this. But still, Chromie doesn't do that much siege damage on her own. So yeah, that almost entirely gets cleared. They're going to get the top wall as well. So it's good they made the tower change when they did, because otherwise this would be even more ridiculous. But uh, if they had pushed a side lane, I think, uh, instead of the middle lane, they would have probably gotten a fort guaranteed here. It looks like they're still going to get a fort regardless. So yeah, it's ridiculously strong, and we have to send somebody down here to deal with it because it's still at half health. And this would keep on pushing and probably take a keep wall if you didn't send somebody here to do it. Meanwhile, the rest of their team is able to be elsewhere on the map, and they're so tanky, they take so long to kill solo. Um, so yeah, not the greatest defense there on our part. We probably shouldn't have lost this fort. I probably should have gone down there earlier. But and now, because of the experience lead from the tower, because you pretty much get a fort guaranteed. Once you get the first objective, you get a fort, and so you're up in experience. Like no matter what your enemies do, basically. Even if you just get walls, like at that point, we have Sylvanas. We haven't really killed any wall structures, so they are ahead in experience. So they hit 10 first. If you win the first objective, you hit 10 first guaranteed. You're pretty much up a full level over your opponent guaranteed, I would say. We missed some soak bottom, so it's not entirely true, but the point is, you get a ridiculous lead from winning the first one, and so we're now fighting an uphill battle this game because now they're 10, and so we can't really fight. I'm getting this camp again. Again, I think I'm probably doing it too early, but I was pretty much just getting it when I saw it was up, because I wasn't really used to the timers on the map yet. This is only like my third or fourth game playing on this map, and this was the first that I had a full like 5 stacked team comp or whatever, so that we could coordinate our game plan a little bit. And so what you can do off the first wave is, if you get a fort, like if their entire team had chosen to push bottom in this case and take the bottom fort, is you can immediately just back up and pretty much take the boss for free after that, because um, you're going to force them to have to rotate top away from the boss unless they have more globals as well, and middle as well, because those won't be defended yet. So they'll have to do what I did, which is go down and manually kill the the objective spawn dude that's buffing all the minions. They have to manually do that. So they're sending one or two other people away to do that. And so it's like 5-on-3, 5-on-4 or whatever. And so you're up probably a level, if not level 10 to level 9 at that point. So you can get a boss for free. And then the boss can usually get the keep wall or something. So yeah, the value off winning the first objective. They don't play that winning the first objective very well at all. And so we actually weren't very far behind. And our team comp is going to let us really kind of take control of the game here in the mid game. But if they had, man, that's a really steep uphill climb to have to do. So yeah, now we're fighting over the other objective again. You'll see poke heroes aren't that great because part of the problem is the objectives are kind of far away, especially from fountains. And so whether you're defending or attacking, it's not really that quick to go tap a fountain or anything like that. And so, like Kel'Thas, for example, and Chromie even to an extent, they're going to run out of mana if we just dodge their spells for the most part, play things slow. It's there. Kel'Thas is out of mana now. They can't really do anything. So you can't really slow play the fights and things like that. You kind of have to have a very bursty swing tempo team fight happen if you want to win and or lose the objective. And same goes for defending. If you can just sort of slowly poke your enemies out while defending safely, that's a very good strategy because they'll eventually have to back off pretty far. And then at that point you can, go in and do what we did pretty much. So we waited out defending safely, and now, we are attacking, and we've pretty much won the objective because of that. So now we got the objective. Still team fighting here for a bit. We had some sick ley lines this game. So now we're pretty much just wave clearing again. I believe we push middle because we have Sylvanas here and we have Abathur soaking bottom. And so we kind of choose to go middle here. I think ideally we would have still gone to a side lane in order to boss, but this is fine too. Okay, so this is maybe my fault here. I forget what the call was. This game was played about 2 days ago, so I don't remember what the voice call was here. But regardless, I get a wall on my own, and the rest of my team is pushing. Looks like they're having a little bit of trouble, so I should definitely have been down there, I'm pretty sure, but it's all right. I believe we still get a fort mid here, so it's not the end of the world. And so your only other option really is if you can clear the camps really easily, but maybe not take the camps as strong yourself, is you can probably wait on getting the camp because it's so far back towards your side of the map and relatively easy to defend, especially if you have, like a chromie time trap or any way of really just checking vision on this semi recently is, or fairly frequently, I mean, is you can just cap this, like clear the minions, but then don't actually capture it. And then you could probably wait until you have the objective and then capture it. And that way you could push middle with the Knolls. That might be another option for some teams. But personally, I think doing the side lanes is going to generally be better. Simply because you're forcing them to split further away if they want to defend. They'll have to send somebody to the way other side of the map, which is really far away if they want to defend. So again, I'm just kind of getting the camp on cooldown whenever I see it's up and I have a moment. Probably not the best timing for it, but it's alright. Here we're just kind of waiting on the objective to spawn again. Sylvanas is pushing on her own. So we're just splitting pressure across the map pretty much. And you see these null camps, they have 2 people defending these, and these are still not dying hardly any speed at all. Like, it's taking them a long, long time. And so we basically get free starting tempo on the objective here fairly easily. Abathur are really great at getting vision. Another absolutely disgusting ley line. So I go in a little bit too deep there. But we still roughly win the fight, I would say. Definitely not as clean as it could have been, but that happens. I'm also not an Illidan player, so that's also a part of it. I was playing Illidan mostly just for the team comp, not necessarily because I am that great at playing him. And so you can see their camp, as well. You got to send somebody to defend it because it pushed the fort on its own. These null camps are surprisingly strong. They basically lower the armor of structures and then lower it triple fast. And when one gets cleared or whatever, it only by the towers. I mean, it only reduces their damage output by a third instead of half. And so, yeah, they take longer to clear. They do more damage. So they are significantly stronger than the siege camps on Braxis, for example. So we have Sylvanas pushing forts. It's quite easy. Kind of just chill out. Get another good ley line. At this point, we're just stalling. We don't want them to recall. So we let Kael'thas recall here. Oh, no, we don't. Oh, there we go. Because we have the other lanes pushing. So this is kind of, even if you're defending one lane, if you're just putting 5 people defending one lane, that's still quite bad because you see these got walls on their own. Those are ridiculously strong on their own. And now we're up 3 levels. We didn't even get much of anything. We got 1 fort down here. Who cares? And so now we have global pressure and we can pretty much get this boss for free. They're still worried about defending and clearing these lanes because they don't want to lose more structures from it. They definitely could have probably fought us here. But the idea being if we do that boss sooner rather than kind of still skirmishing around in the bottom for a little while, then yeah. So at this point we're pretty much guaranteed to be level 21st. We can pretty much guaranteed win off winning the next objective. We're just going to push these in, make sure that they have to deal with more camps so we can go clear middle ourselves. We can go to the top boss because now they're dealing with the bottom boss. And so yeah, we're just splitting pressure all over the map pretty much, and they can't keep up with it unless you have equal wave clear or equal globals or whatever, or you can really win the objectives. Like if you don't win the objectives, like you're just so far behind at that point that it's really hard to come back unless your team comp is more suited to the map like ours was. And so, yep, now they come in just a bit too late. And we can pretty much let the boss go on his own and just worry about getting the capture point at this point. And again, they have to split people away to deal with that. I forget what the call was made here, but we're fighting them for some reason. I'm not sure that this is necessary. I think we could have gone to the capture point instead, but it's alright. This globe, how sad. I missed walking over it like 3 separate times. Oh yeah, so now they let us get this null camp. This is a really bad time to be doing it because our team is kind of dying over here, but uh, whatever. It got started, so we started doing it. And this is pretty silly, but we're pretty much 2v5ing right now. Well, I guess we have Abathur, so it's kind of like 2.5, but still. I should definitely be going to the objective here. I don't know why I'm clearing waves, but it's alright, I figure it out. Almost get the Chromie before she bye-byes. It's a pretty funny time trap. Some clutch heals going out there, but and so again, they pretty much ran out of mana, ran out of cooldowns, and so we waited out 40-second death timers there, and we're still able to defend. Urel is actually really strong at staying alive for a long time, especially on her own, or relatively on her own. So, and now Illidan, pretty much just destroys this with the buffs. So, yep, that's a pretty fast victory after that. The core minions definitely feel a bit underpowered in general, and yeah, especially from minions and especially ranged minions, they kind of just melt it, and it's really weird. Anyway, that's about it.